Hi guys, and welcome to the latest IM from QKZ, a collaboration with HBB called the Hades. It's not the first time that HBB works with QKZ. They've done previously two other collaborations, a dual DD and a single DD. And I mean, obviously with anything which involves HBB, there's always a certain amount of commotion and hype. And he himself did hype his own IM to a certain extent. And I won't deny that I was looking forward to receiving this IM from Linsol, which I got, and seeing what it was all about, if it was exactly what he was talking about, and this and that. Well, to cut a long story short, I'm disappointed. But I'll go through why I'm disappointed. First of all, I'm disappointed because being a person that has the amount of knowledge that he has, and I can understand what he was trying to do here, I think that he could have done a little bit better. I know all about car audio. I know a lot about car audio, a lot more than what most of you think I do. And I'm sure I know enough about car audio to confidently say what I'm about to say and why I think this IM disappointed me. His premise, or the design premise of the Hades, was to be a bass head delight, a IM that was going to be the be all end all in the budget segment of for the bass heads, to satisfy their desire. And I have, and as I said, with my background of car audio, on which apparently a lot of inspiration which was fetched or was taken from there to design this IM. My inspiration or my knowledge, about car audio has taught me to know what it is to have a good sub bass and have it loud and clean and still be acceptably listenable. I will say, however, that for this review, I stuck basically to just hip hop and the occasional reggae song here and there. So I stuck basically to the type of music that this IM was designed to do. Okay, I didn't attempt to do any of my jazz stuff. I didn't attempt to do any of the usual music that I like listening to more on a regular basis. Why? Because when I tried to listen to those songs, I saw straight away that no, it wasn't going to do it well. And if I was going to base my opinion on that, it was going to be unfair. So I said to myself, okay, excuse me, let's see then how it does its things in its realm, in its territory. Does it do it well? And that's where the disappointment comes from, because it doesn't do it well. It doesn't do it well. The choice of drivers, in my opinion, has been a poor one. The drivers are not high quality, and that's straight away very evident by the lack of authority and speed that the bass has. You just have to listen to things like, for example, Tony Montana from Skepta, and straight away, this has got a lot of bass, this song. Okay, I'll link these songs so you guys can go listen to these songs, and if you have some of the IMs that I'm going to mention, you can go compare them. And I would actually appreciate, I take very well to a constructive criticism. I would appreciate if you actually tell me what you think. Does the Hades play better, or does these other IMs that I'm going to mention do this particular style of music better? Because this definitely doesn't do rock well. I mean, I did listen to one or two rock songs, and honestly, no. So you listen to Tony Montana, for example, or Tiki Taka from Soul King. It is straight away evident that the drivers are working overtime. They cannot handle it. Forget about wanting to try and even give them a little bit more bass, no. If anything, you actually want to take away bass. You want to equalize it down to try and salvage something, because it's a slow bass. It lacks any true impact, it lacks any true speed, and it just doesn't do, in my opinion, its design premise justice. Before I just carry on, this is the packaging. I got carried away here. Packaging is nice, a very unusual design, especially coming from QKZ. Nice sleeve, some details in the back about the graph and everything. Very cool. The box itself, again, very nice. You open it up, you know, brought this coin here, which I don't understand what's the purpose of that, but fine, whatever. The IMs came over there. Inside here, this very cheap looking case, very cheap. I wish it didn't even bring that, honestly. The tips are not bad actually, and it brings again a cable which I'm not even going to bother, because honestly, at $50 a better cable could have been included. And I'll just give you one example of an IM that costs the same amount of money and has a better cable. But anyway, packaging is nice, although the accessories are a little bit lackluster. Getting back to what we were talking about. And I've mentioned this quite a few times before in the past. I don't have any issue with any IM that its design premise is this or that, or it was meant to be like this or meant to be like... No issues with that. If it's been done properly. If you say that it's going to be a very neutral IM, very capable to be audiophile, and then you listen to it and it is not anything like it, then the design premise is not good. That's irrespective of whether I like that style of tuning or not. But I think I have acquired enough experience and I have enough knowledge to be able to give a impartial review, on an impartial opinion about it, although it might not be my personal taste. I like bass. I really like bass. I mean, going back here to my car audio days, I had a really nice system. I had Orion amplifiers, for those of you that might not even... we're talking back 25-30 years ago now. So for those that remember that period of time, and in case of HBB wasn't even old enough to maybe be around that area of time, those products that were available back then. It was not what we have today. Today we have a whole bunch of Class D amplifiers. No, I'm talking about good old-fashioned Class AB amplifiers, Class A amplifiers. The subwoofers were not what they were today. In my opinion, they were actually better, way better back then. Today they are basically just focused on SPL, and they've lost a lot of their ability. I used anything from Soaring Vegas strokers. I used JL Audio 15W6s. I used a professional audio brand known as RCF. I used their subwoofers in my car as well, always in 15 or 18 inch, so, and always in 4s. So I had some serious bass in my car, so I know I can talk confidently and with full knowledge of what it is to have some serious bass. I would play music, and I was playing music in the upper 140s, 149, 150 with SPL notes. When I did do some dB dragging with 418s, I got 157 dBs. 157 on a car which had a full interior. Okay, some of you, if you want to know what car it was a Suzuki Vitara, the 4-door version. It had full interior. Okay, it took me almost a year to build that car, so I know a lot about car audio, people. I really do. I don't talk about these things because I don't want people to think that I'm being full of myself. No, but I know a lot, so I know what serious bass is about. And this has got a lot of bass, but it's not got quality bass. End of story. End of story. It is not got quality bass. And the fault mainly is the drivers are of very poor quality, very poor quality. And then in that attempt to obtain so much bass, it was just overdone. It was just overcooked a little bit less with these drivers, and things could have been a hell of a lot different. Second thing, 2 drivers. So I'm assuming one is dedicated just for the bass, and the other one is dedicated to do mid bass, mids, and treble. Okay, why not let that driver shine a little bit? I mean, if you listen to these songs that I'm mentioning, they've got a lot of energy up top. Let it be there. Don't smother it, because when I listen to the Hades, what it sounds like is if I took an IEM, okay, and I've just bashed the hell out of it in terms of the bass, just anything that's below 200 hertz, just cranked it all up there. Below 500 hertz even, just cranked it all the way up, okay, and then took away between 800 hertz and 2K, took away a little bit of that, and then took away as well a little bit on the top, and then maybe right at the top, at like above 10K, gave it a little bit of an extra boost. But so it's very dark. It's way too smothered, and that is where the issue is. Yeah, the design premise, in my opinion, was not well achieved. If it's a bass head IM, fine, no problem. Loads of bass. But let that bass also have something up top that can keep up with it and accompany it. And give these songs, like I said, I just listened to this. I didn't go listen to Diana Krall on this. I listened to these songs. I listened to Another Vibe from Luciano and O'Malley. Again, as I mentioned before, I will link these songs. Amazing song. You listen to it on the KB Rose Finch. You listen to it on the Jazeera Clear. It sounds incredible. You listen to it on the Hades, and you say, okay, what happened? Where did the energy of the mids and the highs go? Fine, but at least if the bass would be any decent, okay, fine, I could still. But no, the bass is sluggish. It's slow. And it's one of a part of that, obviously, is because it doesn't have that little extra bit of energy up top to clean it up slightly, which is what happens here on the Rose Finch and on the Clear. Why do this? Honestly, as I've said, I've just basically took out two IMs. I took out the Rose Finch, the KB ear, and I took out the Jazeera Clear. The KB ear Rose Finch, when it came out, I probably wasn't in my best of moods that day, because I also have my moods, and I walked a little bit over it, and I didn't give it its deserved attention. And then once I did listen to it, more calmly, I did realize that for what was its premise, which was a bass head IM, it was well done. It was actually well done. Could have it been done better? Yes, it could, and that's what I did on this one. On this one, all I did was I took out the stock filter that it had, and I put anywhere between a 400 and a 350 and a 450 filter. That's all you have to do. And automatically it loses none of the bass, none of that impact, none of that weight, none of that. And it just gives you that little bit extra clarity up top to make this thing sound incredible. I did listen to it, and obviously compared to the Hades, but I used the stock one. The stock one, better bass, it's cleaner, it's tighter, it's more impactful. Let's even not talk about the mids and the treble, because it's no comparison. This sounds like it's got not a little sheet of thin material in front of you. No, it's got a great big thick carpet in front of you. There's nothing up there. Sorry, I mean, I know I'm being hard, but I know that HBB can do better than this. I know. And I know that he might not admit to it, but he knows that it could have been better. I'm sure that he knows it could have been better. Okay? As for the Jazeera Clear, same situation as the Rose Finch, obviously better than the Rose Finch. The Jazeera Clear is basically the Rose Finch modified. Let's put it that way. These two are basically the same IM. Amazing bass, great, it's clean, it's detailed, it's really, really good. And then mids and highs, all in the right amount there to just make it a nice sounding massive V-shaped signature, yes, but it's nice, it's engaging, it will satisfy any bass head, as will the Rose Finch. For sure it will satisfy them. If you like, for example, EDM, like I also listen to, and I did listen to EDM, even EDM has got a lot of high energy stuff up there. This does not do it as well as the Rose Finch or the Clear. It doesn't, because it just doesn't have enough energy up top. It just doesn't have it. It should have a little bit more energy. And that's where the fact of the two drivers is something that I just cannot understand. If these are single and they are doing it with two drivers, you could have done it. It could have been done. It could have been done and well done. And it could have been an absolute killer of an IM. The price is good. Forget the accessories, but the price is good. The build quality is decent. It could have been a killer. Oh, because the price of the drivers are... People, the Rose Finch has been down to as low as $14. This driver is amazing. Amazing. $14. $50. That's $50 as well. Okay, so drivers? Driver is the problem? For $50? No. Anyway, guys, I wish I hadn't. I really truly wish I didn't have to be so hard. But I believe that when you reach a certain status, you have to make sure that everything that you do is spot on, period. You do not have margin to fail. Everything you launch, especially when you're a person as influential as HBB, as Zeros, as Timmy from Giz Audio, when you are at that level, okay, when you've reached that level, that status, your name goes behind the product, and that product has to be not 100, not 200, it's got to be 1,000%. Okay? Why? Because as HBB himself says, cash doesn't come easy. That's a reality. And why would I recommend you go spend $50 on this when you can spend, like I said, as low as 14 and you get a better IM? Why? If I'm going to spend $50, I want something truly special, you know? And if all I want is bloated and massive amounts of bass, well, there's plenty of IMs that take really well to EQing. There's a few KZs that come to mind. Get those KZs, just EQ them, and you'll have better than this even. And cheaper. Take an EDX, for example. And I'm sure an EDX will probably perform at least as well as this, costing $10, $11. Huh? And so as I was saying, when you reach a certain level, you have a responsibility not only towards yourself, but towards the community which relies upon you, which looks at you and trusts you, to make sure that your products are absolutely exemplary. There's nothing there that can be faulted. And yes, I will give it to him in the sense that he did say that the IEM was an IEM tailored for bass heads, and was fine, but it wasn't a well-tailored IEM for bass heads. It wasn't. And I repeat again what I said in the beginning of this review. Anybody that has any one of these IEMs, or the 3 IEMs, just take some of these songs, or listen to songs that you yourself like listening in this genre specifically of bass, EDM, or hip hop, which is what this was. Apparently, that was the main intention of this IM. It wasn't designed to play classical music. And please tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me that I'm wrong, and I'll accept it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I know I'm not wrong. I'm very confident in what I'm saying. This is not a well-designed IM. Its objective was not well achieved, and it's a pity. It truly is a pity. All right. Anyway, I'll show you quickly the graphs and we'll wrap it up. Hi guys, and welcome now to the graph section here for the QKZ HBB Hades. Let me just take away some of these graphs. Okay, this is my Hades. That's one channel. That's the other channel. Let me just, for the sake of being absolutely and totally fair, so that I'm not, it wasn't fair. That's pretty decent channel matching. Just a little bit of a difference there and there, which you can't even pick up. This is using not the stock tips, but the KB 07 tips, which did help out a little bit. The stock tips even made this worse. So this is using those tips and using a Tansio Mirai cable, which again did help somewhat. The stock cable, not only does it tangle too much, I found it just compounded further this excessive darkness. Okay. Excuse me. Anyway, look, what can I say? We're talking about 67 to 85, so we're talking 18 dBs of bass boost. Huge, ginormous amounts of bass, period. Not good quality bass. Not good quality. There's no, it's not that bass that hits you in the chest. Okay, it isn't. On top of that, being 2 drivers, this whole area here could have been way more well executed. And if it was better executed, okay, the truth is, it would have, in my opinion, cleaned up even this excessive bass. If you didn't even touch it, would have cleaned it up ever so slightly to make it sound more snappy, more clean, more incisive, more, hits you really hard, clean and hard. That's what that's one mistake that I think was done there straight away. Okay. Excuse me. Now let's start comparing it here with the IMs that I selected. The first one I'm going to show you is the Rose Finch in its stock format. Okay, Rose Finch in its stock format. I think just by looking at the graph, it says it all. Again, massive amount of bass. We're talking about 68 to 85 almost, so 17 dBs, just a little bit less. But this whole area here is a little bit is down enough for it to be just that little extra cleaner, and that balance that then is done with the mids and the upper mids and the treble is way more successful. So it just sounds completely different. It sounds hard, it goes deep, but it doesn't sound muffled, because that's the biggest problem with the Hades. It sounds muffled, it sounds whoa, whoa, whoa. It's not a clean bass. Okay, so what if it's got monstrous amounts of bass, but when the bass is whoa, whoa? No, people, sorry, no. That's the Rosefinch. This is the Rosefinch modified. Let me just quickly show you so you guys can see the Rosefinch modified. Let me just take away the Hades here. So the Rosefinch modified, by changing the filter, you get a little bit, I give it a little bit extra energy, which even further enhances everything. It just opens it up completely. Better bass execution. It's honestly, if you have a Rosefinch, this is a must. Okay, you have to do this. And then finally, the Jazeera Clear. And the Jazeera Clear, actually, James, let me just show you here with the modified Rosefinch. You can see they're basically very similar. The Jazeera Clear, where it stands out, is in the extension that it has up top. And now, so the Jazeera Clear compared to the Hades. There we go. No comparison possible. Upper mids and treble are there. They're present, and they give that energy that's needed in my books for a true bass head execution. Because if, again, I repeat, bass head execution, just then cut all them, take any IM, just take away all the mids and highs, upper mids and highs, take it all out. That's it. I don't believe that that's how bass heads really truly enjoy listening to the music. And if it is, fine, okay, whatever. But I don't believe it. I don't believe that's how they want to listen to their latest hip hop hit or their latest EDM song, which has that energy, and then they, no. So, Jazeera Clear, KBE Rosefinch, HBB Hades. Guys, I've said it all. Like I mentioned before, I wish I didn't have to be this hard, because what the HBB has done for the community is it cannot be quantified. He's done a lot for the community, but it's precisely because he's done a lot for the community that more eyes are on him, and more care should be taken on what he does and what he doesn't do with regards to what he puts his name behind. Because I am absolutely positive that he could have done a better product. But this is what we got, and that's it. All right, guys, as always, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care now.